people. Hello, everybody. And by everybody, I just mean you, Tom. Hi, how's it going? I'm so excited, people. I don't think you... Look, peek behind the curtain real quick. It's almost been a month since we've done another episode, and I have been losing my shit. Ugh. And we still technically aren't even there yet, but I won't waste any more time, because now it's time to party. Okay, that was really disappointing. I was kind of hoping you'd say something.
Should I, like, go with a yay? I don't know.
Alright, look, here's the dealio.
There is no response for this.
No. Alright, shut up, listen. Here's the dealio willio. It came as consensus that the last episode sort of ended your guys' adventure. I mean, Kennum, you've been traveling with these other guys for about 3 or 4 days now. You didn't save Elise, didn't get Elise to where she needed to go, but you did do the thing she wanted you to do. The seeds have been delivered, and that's mission accomplished. So, we all kind of agreed, among ourselves, that there's really no reason for you guys to stick together too much, and if you had things you wanted to do, or if you wanted to go do festival stuff by yourself, you should do that. And that's what's happening right now. So, Kennam.
Yes.
Last we left off, you guys were in the dining room, and you just delivered the seeds, and you have about an hour or so until festival time. What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, for those who were actually listening in the last episode, it was mentioned that Kennam has an orphanage in which I think there's a good number of people over here trying to sell some things to raise funds for. So I think I'm gonna head over there and see if I can help set up and all that.
Okay, so you, like, excuse yourself from the dining room table and make your way back to the outside area, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you kind of make your way through the dining room. Do you go through the kitchenway again, or you just, like, find a different door?
I mean, no, I think I'll, Would I know of any other way? Like, is there any other apparent way to leave?
Probably. Now, look, this is some very important character choices here. It's the critical pass. Going down a T. Which direction he'll go to get outside.
I mean, I don't know. I guess Kennam's gonna look around for another way out first. You know, don't want to intrude. Especially after I was almost thrown in prison.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't take you long to spot another way outside. And as you open the door, you are greeted with the beautiful sight of works in progress. There's a bunch of tables still being set up. You still got you got like some guys on ladders, and they're all hanging up lanterns and decorations. I mean, it's coming along. It's much better than it was about an hour or so ago when you first arrived here. The sky's getting darker at this point, so all of those artificial lights are really just popping. It's starting to look a little more like a festival, actually. Cool indeed. So you said you were going to go look for a specific booth, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any indication what that might be? Is it like a ring toss? We gonna hunt for some ducks?
It's going to be a bake sale.
Okay. Excellent.
Held by a bunch of little orphan children, maybe a few adults there to supervise.
Okay. So you wander around a little bit more than Kennam. You're kind of taking in the sights. I assume you've actually probably been to a couple of these before.
Yeah. Maybe one or two, but...
Yeah, so it's nothing too new, but, you know, it's still pretty. You don't see it every day. And as you get deeper into the Colosseum, off to the side, kind of situated between what looks like a dunk tank, and some sort of balloon popping game. There's a dwarf. He's still trying to like blow up these balloons, and he's having some issues, but you know, he'll get there eventually. But in between those two booths, you see one rectangular table.
Can
I'm talking
we
about
back up a half a second? I want to go see if I can help the dwarf out. He seems to be having some problems.
Okay. So I'll back up my narration. Then
Kennam's gonna walk right up to this little dwarf and go, do you need any help?
She kind of waves you away, like, no, no, don't worry about it. I've got time. But thanks for the offer. I got this. I wish I knew where my helium tank went. Oh, that was a terrible voice. I'll have to do better in the future.
Kennam's gonna be like, okay, walking away, keeping mental note that there's the helium tank missing.
Okay, so now you're making your way to the actual big sale?
Yeah.
Alright, cool beans. So, rectangular table, kind of like those fold-out ones you see at school gymnasiums is the best comparison I can think of.
Fold-out table?
Yeah. And it's got this really not cheap, but it definitely does not look like the fanciest tablecloth. It's very tattered. There's a couple patches here and there. Some might say that just gives it character. Some might just say it looks ratty. And you see a bunch of containers haphazardly sort of just thrown along the top. Some of them got some pies in them. You see a couple that have wrapped cookies, and some of those cookies are shaped like tiny axes. And currently setting up at the table, visually, you see two humans, one of them male, one of them female. They look about in their teens, close to young adult, and they're pulling stuff out, seemingly underneath the table, and they're trying to set stuff up. Behind the table as well is a cart, little tiny cart, and there's this tiny little elf girl who's standing on like kind of the inside of the cart, but you can still see her, and she's barking out directions. Like she's telling the two to like come over here and pick this up and put that over there, and oh, excuse me. So that's so much better. Delicious drink of water. But yeah, that's what you see as you approach the bake sale table.
All right, I'm going to approach the little elf girl, which I'm assuming I know.
Oh, absolutely you know who this is. In fact, as you get closer, this little elf child turns and she sees you, and her whole face lights up, and she hops down from the wagon, cart, whatever. She runs up to you and she says, no, not that. Jesus.
You okay there, cat?
No, I'm good. Don't worry about it. She runs up to you and she says, oh, Mr. Toscobble, hello, sir. I didn't expect you to be here.
Hello, Eloise.
Excuse me, sir.
You sound a little under the weather. Are you okay?
Oh, you know, just usual sicknesses passed around the orphanage. I think there's like whooping cough going around with the younger kids. I might have caught it, but don't worry about it, sir. It's nothing I can't take care of.
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to get out and walk around for a bit.
She kind of gives you a funny look and looks at the two humans up at the booth, and she says, You really want to trust those two by themselves, huh, sir? I mean, I won't question you. I mean, you're the boss, but she looks at them again like, well, they are kind of the reason we're in the situation we're in. Not that he wasn't avoided, but it could have gotten worse.
What do you mean?
She points you over to the wagon cart, and she gestures down to one of the wheels, which looks haphazardly put together with a bunch of vines and maybe some scotch tape. And she says, yeah, well, Dennis and Mary decided they were going to play gosh darn keep away with one of the wheel axles. And then it split into a million pieces. So we're the tiniest bit behind trying to set up.
Kennam's gonna give that little, like, look of absolute confusement, like, how the fuck do you even, like, how do you even play keep away with a wheel axle?
This is Dennis and Mary we're talking about, sir.
Like, how does this even happen?
Sir.
Isn't that supposed to be, like, attached to the god freaking whatever?
Sir. And she gets up to you. She, like, kind of gets up all in your face because you're about the same height. She's like, sir, it's Dennis and Mary.
God damn it, Dennis.
You see, like, the human male sort of look up and over, and he's like, yes, sir.
Carry on.
He goes back to whatever he was doing. And Eloise kind of gives you an apologetic shrug, and she's like, I mean, sir, I would never deny you, but we are super far behind. I still have to unpack, like, half of our stuff. Then you got Dennis and Mary over there just throwing stuff willy-nilly on the table. And she kind of looks over and she cups her hands. She yells, Dennis, stop trying to take out the pie. That's for later. You see him kind of shove it back in the container. Eloise rolls her eyes and mutters under her breath, "God, such amateurs. It's like they've never done this before."
Have they ever done this before? I don't think they have.
She thinks about that for a second. A long second. And then she says, again, sir, I would love to come walking with you, but as you can see, it's sort of it's like herding cats over here. If those cats had opposable thumbs and no brain. Or sense of feng shui! You see Mary kind of like half drop some of these containers that she was stacking in the tower.
Okay then. Would you like any help?
The relief that lights up along her face, is instantaneous. And she says, sir, that would be great. I would greatly, greatly appreciate any help.
Awesome.
Okay. So, with your assistance, it doesn't take too much longer to get all the rest of the containers out. And you guys managed to get what's supposed to be on the booth there. Most of it's still in the containers, but it's there. It's like in some sort of fashion. Like, you know, it's like before you glue down a picture, you put all the pieces in place and you're like, yeah, that looks good. That's kind of what this, yeah, that's this situation. And it takes about, why don't you roll for me? Let's see how helpful you can be.
What do you want me to roll?
Well, there is no help the orphans with their bake sale.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure there's something around here. It might be in charisma. No.
Well, okay, how would you go about this? Like, how would you help Eloise set up this bake sale? Like, what would you do?
Honestly, I'd probably just get in there and, like, do the manual work. Like, help pick stuff up and put it out onto the, tables.
Okay, so, just roll
Kennam's
me...
no slouch. He's not, like, against manual labor.
It's just most manual labor is twice his size.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you roll me strength then? Let's just see how,
Oof.
And, oh, you're using your dice, aren't you?
Yes, and I just got a 15.
Oh. Do you have any bonuses to that?
That is with just... that I rolled a natural 16 and I got a -1 in my
strength,
so I got damn lucky.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, it takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get everything set up, so you guys still have like a good 45 minutes before the actual shindig kicks off.
All right.
So once you get the table set up, Elise turns to you. Or not Elise. Fuck. I knew this was going to happen. Eloise turns to you, and she says, thanks, sir. This would have taken hours. I don't even think we would have been ready before the bake sale started. And then she shoots a look at Dennis and Mary, who kind of scoot off back to the cart, not knowing what to do with themselves anymore.
All right. So now we've got this much time. We've got about 45 minutes. Yeah, let's how about that walk now?
Yeah, I think that'll be all right. She turns back to the cart. Dennis, Mary, watch the setup, and I swear to God, if something is missing off of this table, you are going to have to run all the way back to the orphanage, bake up a new thing, and bring it back. You hear like a meek, okay, from the cart. And Elise holds out her hand to you, and she says, let's go check it out. and by it, I mean this like skeletal structure of a festival.
Kennam's gonna grab her hand, and I guess they're gonna start walking around.
Okay, so now you and Eloise are strolling around, kind of watching. Actually, what are you guys doing? Like, what sights are you taking in? Like, where are you going? What's the plan?
Well, the outward appearance is we're going to be walking around, just kind of taking a look at what's coming up, like what people are using, what people are doing. What Kennam's also trying to do while we're at that is he's gonna try and see if there's any like certain prizes that might help him like turn invisible or teleport or something that can get him from point A to point B without being seen.
All right, super sketch and suspicious, but we'll go with it. And you don't know what it is, just like any old random thing.
Just
I could pick.
Just anything that might be helpful from getting from point A to point B without being seen.
Very specific with this point A, point B stuff. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to roll down the thief path, so I feel like it's gonna come in handy.
Okay. No, all right, fair enough. So, you and Eloise probably spend about I think it's time for another roll, actually. Roll me a perception. Let's see how long it takes you to actually find this point A, point B magical item.
18.
18. Okay.
No bonus.
No bonuses?
No
okay.
bonus. Natural 18.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are walking around for less than 5 minutes. You see somebody's dumping these bright plastic balls into a ball pit. And there's another guy who's getting a test your strength bell tower thing set up. Like he's putting the bell on top, he's screwing it in. And their partner is laying out all these mallets. There's like a tiny one and then a medium-sized one. And this huge, gigantic one that you probably couldn't lift at all, no matter how hard you tried, Kennum. Because it's almost twice your size. And you're
I'm gonna lift that one day.
Yeah. One day?
One day.
Okay.
I'll lift it.
And as you guys are walking, Eloise seems to be enjoying herself for the most part. She doesn't say too much, but she's taking in the sights. She seems to enjoy the fact that she's no longer, as she put it, herding cats. And as you guys are walking, you pass by this booth. And it looks like a little miniature wheel is being set up. And each of the wheel has like these different, I'm going to describe this weird. It has these different pie slices, and each of the slices have something written inside, like money or
like a wheel of fortune.
Yeah, like a wheel of fortune, like a tiny medieval fantasy wheel of fortune.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
I don't know if that's the same thing.
I don't know.
I think that's Jeopardy.
No, Jeopardy is not that. I'm more than positive it's Wheel of Fortune.
Well, someone will correct us in the comments. So you pass by this wheel, and you're kind of looking at the little pie pieces on the wheel. And what you notice is this halfling is taking some stuff out of bags, like a bunch of bags. Like she has a lot of bags. And some of them kind of look like gimmicky prizes. You've got little stuffed animals. You've got these spider rings made of plastic. And one of the items catches your eye because it looks like a cloak. Like just kind of your run-of-the-mill adventure-y cloak. But when you look at it from a different angle, like as you're walking past it and you're sort of behind it, part of it starts to disappear.
Well, looks like I found what I was looking for, so... Alright, so this is interesting. I found a cloak of invisibility, so I could be Harry Potter. I am the wizard.
Well, now hang on. It could be a cloak of invisibility. It also could be like one of those seeing eye picture things, but in cloak form.
It's a cloak, and it'll help me. Or at the very least, I think it will help me.
Okay.
Alright. So, I'm not gonna say anything. Kennam's just gonna stay, like, silent when we pass this. He's gonna see it and just kind of keep walking.
Okay. Are you guys gonna, like, do anything else then? Or are you just gonna keep walking around? You gonna drop off LOEs at some point?
How much time do we have left?
Let's say you've got... how much time has passed? We'll just say you got about a half hour left. Everything is starting to look more come together now. You've got a couple more adventurous types who are looking around the booths now. A lot more games are more set up. More. And it is starting to look like a proper festival now.
Alright. I think we'll head back to the booth, and once we get there, here's a question. Alright?
Okay.
How long does this festival usually last?
Oh, buddy. It could go all night.
Okay. Alright. Well, we're gonna hang out there for probably the last half hour, because I don't really think I have anything else I need to do.
Okay. So you're just gonna hang out with Eloise and Mary, Dennis, at the bake sale booth?
Yeah, kinda.
Alright, cool. So you guys, I guess just chat?
Yeah.
Watch, people watch. You see all the cool heroes that come by, like the warriors in their shiny pauldrons, and the wizards in their crazy wizard robes. Like, it's a fun pastime, let me say, because some of these people have some crazy shit. There's even a person, they walk by, their outfit isn't that interesting, but they have like a 3-headed dog following them. So that's pretty neat.
I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation on the dog. It's gonna shoot sparks.
Okay. Where does it shoot sparks? Just like anywhere? Just
straight out of its, like,
it's a dog!
Straight out of its ears. Just drive someone crazy.
Okay. Are you trying to do this like, alright, are you trying to do this subtly, or you are 100% taking credit for these shenanigans?
I'm gonna try and do this as subtly as I can, because it'd be even funnier if people didn't know I was doing this. Especially because I don't want the dog to eat me.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. You roll me a sleight of hand. I'm gonna go pull up my dice stuff, and I'm gonna see what... Not the dog, but I'll see what the owner...
17 plus the 1 in dexterity, so that's another 18. Yes!
Dang, you and your 18s!
This is making up for all of the shitty rolls I did last game.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got, like, what was it, like 7 1s in the last run?
Yeah.
It was a crap ton of ones.
Okay, so you got 18?
Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a natural 18. So...
Damn.
Oh,
well. We'll probably just be sitting in the back laughing our asses off.
So you, like, so how are you setting this up? Like, what are you pre-doing?
Kennam's, like, sitting in the back, back in his chair, feet up on the table, and he sees this, like, we're all just kind of making jokes around, everyone's sitting in their little chairs waiting for the festival to start, and I see this little dog walking by. I'm like, hey guys, watch this. And I'm gonna cast my, I'm like, with a little wave of my hand, I'm gonna cast my Prestidigitation.
Okay.
Make sparks shoot out of its ears. Non-harmful sparks, of course, but...
Yeah, of course. That definitely happens. This 3-headed Cerberus thing strolls past your booth, and these sparks suddenly fly out of its ears, and it freaks the fuck out. Like, all 3 of them simultaneously are like... and they start, like, you know, when a dog just has a complete flip out, it's like chasing its tail, it's like trying to talk to its other 3 heads, it's just having a spaz attack. And the sort of underdressed looking person turns back and sees their dog freaking out, and they're like, what the hell is going on with my... And then they look over and they see you kind of, the tail end of you wiggle-waggling your fingers. And they're like, oh, okay, I see how this is. And they go over to the booth. And they also have whooping cough. And they're like,
Wow,
oh,
seems to be going around.
Yeah. And they kind of slam their hands on the table, and it's like, what the hell did you do to my dog?
Kennam's gonna like put his hands up and go, worry not, it's harmless. It's just a little illusionary magic.
And the guy goes, what? Harmless? Dude, look at my dog! And you see the dog, and it's like rolling around on the ground, just completely spazzing out. It's like, do you even understand like how dangerous that is? Like, this is a wild animal. What if it had started rampaging? You could have destroyed half the festival, man.
If it could do that, then why the... Sorry, character voice. If it could do that, then why the hell would you bring it in here?
Because I trained it! But
then it's not a feral dog!
Alright, you know what? And they go to grab your shirt collar. And if you want, you can try and diggly dodge out of that.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to get grabbed, I mean, that's fine.
I'd rather not get grabbed.
Alright. You roll your dice, I'll roll mine.
What am I rolling here for?
Probably a dexterity save.
Well, you don't need to roll. I got a 2.
What was that about not having shit rolls?
You know what? It kind of makes sense. I'm leaning back in a chair.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna roll just in case. Holy shit, I got a 2 too.
Damn.
How does that happen?
What's his
Well,
dex? What's his... Is it strength or he's doing dex? Because mine has a +1 dex. It's total to 3, but I doubt it passes.
He's got dex too, but it's much higher than your dex. So, so he says the whole like, you know what? And he leans forward and starts to snatch your collar. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of these vines suddenly snap out from the ground, and it just like smacks his hand away, and he recoils like, ah, what the hell? And you see Eloise sitting beside you. She's got like a little, she's that little pink fold-up chair that she has with her at all times. And you see her, she's got her finger extended now, and there's a couple vines sort of wiggling around on her hand. And she says, sir, that is no way to treat... Oh, God, excuse me. Sorry, that is no way to act around the festival. If you'd like to buy something, you could buy something. If you don't, I suggest you move along. And
Kennam's gonna just quickly go, okay, I'm sorry. And he's gonna snap his fingers and cancel the prestidigitation spell and go, it was just a harmless prank, I'm sorry. You know, kind of half sarcastic, half like, look, I didn't mean it to escalate this far, kind of.
Didn't mean to put a bee in your pants. The guy kind of pulls back, whether because of your apology or the crazy tiny elf person with the vines on her
I'm probably
knuckles.
gonna say the vines.
Probably. But he pulls back and he picks up his dog. That's a weird image.
What is this thing?
Well, okay, I originally had this thought that it was a medium-sized creature, but now I'm thinking it's like this fucking pursed chihuahua with 3 heads. Not as intimidating. But he picks it up and he kind of goes, just think before you do stuff. And he shuffles away. And Eloise looks over at you and she says, sir, I could have, disciplined him. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Before Kennam says anything else, he's gonna quickly lean back and go, yeah, really destroy the fair. Give a little laugh.
To be fair, sir, I suppose if it was properly trained, we wouldn't have to worry about it destroying the fair. But no, seriously, you definitely should have let me teach that guy a lesson. He was kind of being a jerk.
Listen, Eloise. As much as I agree with you, the guards around here are not very happy with me as it is. We may have gotten kicked out if we did.
What does that mean, sir? I was pretty sure us and Smolderven were... I mean, we see the king almost on a regular basis.
Yeah, but recent events, I had a bit of a, we'll call it a little, debate with the king upon upon a few matters, and he is currently a little unhappy with me.
Eloise's entire face just goes deadpan. She's like, "Sir, you know the orphanage sort of operates because of him, right? I mean, I'm not saying that we should be one to beg on our knees, but why would you do that?"
Unrelated matter. The point is, he's not going to, like, I doubt he'll revoke this. It's just we shouldn't make any extra trouble for the guards around here.
Well, that might be slightly problematic with Tweedledee and Tweedledoofus, and she looks over at Mary and Dennis. Oh god, people are gonna think I have, like, a thing against two people named Mary and Dennis. I don't, I promise. It just spiraled out of control.
Kennam's gonna take a look over at them and go, "No, I don't. I mean this in the nicest way possible, Mary and Dennis. But why are you here again?"
They look at each other, and then they look over at Eloise. And Dennis says, "She said we had to help. Something about paying our dues or something." And then Mary goes, "Yeah, plus I didn't want to stay at the orphanage. It was super boring."
All right. I was just curious. All right. So I guess we'll. How is the festival just about to start at this point?
Oh, yeah. It's super dark now. The lanterns are lighting up the sky. More people have ushered themselves into the Colosseum. This party has officially gone off the chain.
In that
I
case,
think.
I'm going to, considering prestidigitation lasts 1 hour, before I head out to, like, go participate in games and shit, I'm going to cast a prestidigitation on, like, our bake sale sign to make it, like...
Sweet.
Yeah, to make it awesome. Like, shoot little fireworks, glow, that kind of shit.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good.
Drawing a crowd.
Yeah, so you set them up with a sign. Jesus. And Eloise and Mary and Dennis wave you off as you head off into the festival to have fun.
Alright. I'm gonna head right over to that Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
Like, no time wasted, going straight there.
Excellent. So there's actually not a lot of people around this Wheel of Fortune. A lot of them seem far more interested in the more show-offy booths, kind of the ones where they can strut their stuff. Like, you see a big hulking man person, and he's got the biggest hammer over at the Test Your Strength bell. You see some sort of spellcaster, and they're levitating a whole bunch of rings, and they just fly him forward, and they all loop around the pole, and they get like this giant stuffed grizzly bear.
Ah, crap. Can we quickly retcon and say I've got Kevin with me?
Wait, why?
I may have an idea for him eventually.
I suppose. What if you never use him?
If I her. I forgot that one as well. If I mean, still. I doubt she's gonna be doing much with Lobe.
Okay, we could say before you leave, you kind of converse with Lobe, asking if you could take Kevin for a walk or something, and she's just been dutifully following you around.
Okay, because I have the slightest feeling I'm going to need to, if I need to up the ante, I can firebolt Kevin.
Okay, that's reassuring. I should not have allowed this. So you make it over to the Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, a lot of the more heroic-looking figures are far more interested in showing off their stuff. And this halfling female looks super bored at her booth until you come along. And she immediately perks up. And I need a voice. She says, well, howdy do. Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. And she points over to the wheel, which is now fully in place with all of its pie pieces.
Bitchin'.
She says, are you here to test your luck?
I do aim to try.
Sweet. So that'll be 10 gold copper pieces if you want to participate.
I was about to say 10 gold. Jesus.
No, that's my other gigs. Don't worry about that. The little slip of the tongue, see? God, what is this voice? Hang on. Hold up. I gotta nail this. But yeah, just rustle up some of them copper pieces and we can give this wheel a spin.
Now, do remind me, is it 100 copper equals a silver, or is it... I can't remember.
We're going by the 10-10-10 rule in my head, because it's just
10
much
copper
easier.
equals 1 silver?
Sure.
So
I guess technically she's asking you also for a silver, if you
Okay.
got it.
So now I'm at 9 gold and 9 silver. Okay.
Excellent. So you pony up some coppers, and as you hold it out, she actually, because she has like this huge wild mane of hair, and she pulls kind of out from around her face. She's got this, what looks like a cat mask, but it's very almost tribalistic. It's like carved out of wood. You can see that it actually has some cat hair attached to it. And she holds out the mask, and you drop the coins in. And she says, well, shoot, that was much easier than I thought it would be. And then she looks up at you, and she kind of tilts her head. And she says, well, now, hang on just a hot second. Are you a halfling, too? I mean, I don't mean to be forward, but... And then she kind of points to her mask and points back to you.
I left it at my booth. I run the orphanage bake sale down the way.
Oh, no kidding! Oh, man, I love their cookies. They're shaped like little axes. So cute. Wow, but you just kind of leave your mask willy-nilly, huh? I mean, again, I don't mean to judge, but, you know, it's kind of like a badge of honor. I was gonna give you a discount, but I don't know what your mask is anymore. Oh well, such is life. And then she kind of puts the mask back on her head somehow, keeping all the coins in place. Don't ask about that wizard magic. And she opens this wooden part in the booth, and she gestures to the wheel, and she says, all right, well, you give that wheel a good spin, and we'll see what you get. I got a lot of good stuff here, but you never know what you're gonna get.
Alright,
So-
Kennam's gonna walk up and take a spin.
All right, so here's how the Wheel of Fortune works. You are going to spin me a 1d20, and whatever it lands on is what you get.
Okay.
I have to warn you, some of the prizes are magical items, some of them are mundane, some of them are monetary, some of them are jack-doodly crap, because it wouldn't be the Wheel of Fortune without a smidgen of bad luck.
Alright, I guess I'll roll then.
You roll that.
Is that a 6 or a 9?
It's a 6.
I know, I never know either. Alright, cool. So, round and round the wheel goes, and where it stops is on the image of a sword. And she says, ah, shoot! You got one of my weapons! Hang on just a hot second. And she ducks down underneath her booth, and you hear the sound of clanking metal.
Like, while she's gone, Kennam's gonna mutter under his breath, God damn it, I don't even use weapons!
And she pops back up, and in her hands, she has wrapped this very ornate-looking rapier. It's got a sweet chrome hilts with like a tint of teal. There's like some gemstones, like blues and greens running around the side. And she says, "Oh man, like this is a good one. I found this when excavating down in some flooded ruins. It's supposed to be held by like, I don't know, mermaid guards or something. So the details are fuzzy, but it looks sweet as hell, doesn't it? Like, look at this thing."
Hell yeah, it does. And I'm gonna strap it to my side and just kind of keep it there because I can't use rapiers.
And as you do that, it like drags across the ground and then pokes into it. And the Wheel of Fortune halfling looks down. She's like, "Oh well, shoot. I didn't think this through. Wait, pass that back over a hot second."
Okay. Kind of like gives it back over.
And she picks up from underneath the booth. She takes an axe and she holds the rapier down on the table and she says, "Y'all might want to look away. This could be bad." She rears back.
Wait, I've got a better idea. Hold on. Just give me one hot second. Because... Oh, wait, no, I don't actually have all my spells yet. Never mind. Continue.
Please proceed.
I'm like gonna shield my face.
Okay. And you hear this splitting of wood and this tick and clatter, 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 clatter. And as you open your eyes, she represents the rapier. And it's definitely missing a good foot or two now of its blade. And she says, "Well, here you go then. I think this will be a right old fit."
Where is it visible where that other chunk of the metal is?
Don't worry about it.
Oh. Okay.
So, Kennam
okay.
now has in his possession an enchanted rapier, +1 to hit.
Cool.
Except it's totally useless.
Yeah.
At least to you. Okay. She says, "Well, I hope you're satisfied with your, well, I can't say purchase. You kind of got this out of luck. But,
Actually, I'd like another spin. And he's gonna hand her another silver.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, go for it. She steps aside again, lets you spin. Same deal as last time. 1d20.
3.
A 3. Okay. She's, and, round and round and round it goes. Round and round and round it goes, and then it stops on what looks like the outline of like a tabard, like a shirt.
Oh, finally,
She says,
something I can use.
"Ooh, cool armor. That's pretty great because I got a lot of that, and a lot of it is plate, and that shit's hard to look around. Give me a second."
Please
And
tell me I'm not getting plate.
She goes over to another bag, kind of pushed off to the left, and she's rummaging through the bag, and she pulls out a pair of boots. And they look pretty average, except when you turn them to the side, and then you see they've got like these sick, rad, hot rod flames just running up the side.
Hell yes. These
And
are
she's
going
like-
immediately on my feet.
And she's like, "Yeah, no, these are a personal favorite of mine. I actually..."
I can't wear
What?
shoes either.
Yeah, she's like about to go into this long-winded explanation of where she found these shoes, and then she looks down at your feet. She's like, "Oh, wait, right. You don't wear shoes. All right, hold on. Got a solution." She puts shoes on the table. She whips out that same axe. And she's like... And she says, "Now, I don't think you gotta close your eyes for this, but,
No, I'll
I
leave
mean-
my eyes open for this one.
Okay." And you see her whip through the bottoms, and they fall, kind of crumple to the tabletop, and now you sort of just have these
Foot
ankle
wrapping?
cufflinks. Yeah, like a now appropriate shoe for a halfling. You just kind of stick your feet through it, and it sits around your ankle. Still got the sick hot rod flames, so don't worry. That's still in one piece.
Okay. So long as the flames are intact.
And she hands them to you, and she says, "Yeah, this helped a buddy of mine. They were checking out a, one of them, you know those cities them gnomes are building now? They're like up in the sky or whatever? That's what he was checking out. He
shit.
said,
Those things
Yeah.
exist?
I know, right? It's crazy. But that's where he said he got them. And, well, you know," she kind of points to her own feet. and says, I ain't got a use for them, but shoot, I wish I had thought of cutting them earlier. Well, oh well. That you spawned them fair and square, so here you go. And now, my son,
yeah.
you have shoes of sick kick flips, and they will add +2 to your acrobatics.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So now and forever, you are just gonna be a flippin' fool.
All right, +2 to acrobatics. Got it.
+2 to acrobatics.
You know what? I'm actually getting a pretty good haul. Now here's a question: how much time is passing?
These spins do not take long. This whole interaction between you two has probably only taken about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, I'm a spin again.
Is this entire episode just gonna be you spinning until you get what you want?
It's not because I get what I want. I'm just getting a lot of cool stuff.
Because I will cut you off. Like, I need you to understand. You cannot clean her out.
1, maybe 2 more.
No,
max.
you're doing
Okay,
one
last
more.
one. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
three
do
per
one last
customer.
one.
3 per customer.
All right.
That's not what she says. She would be more than happy for you to spend your entire life savings, but for the sake of interestingness, we're just gonna say 1 more.
Yeah. All right. I'll take 1 more. Why not?
All right. She's like, shoot, you are gonna fill my pockets. Cool beans.
13.
13. Okay. So round and round and round it goes, and then it stops on what looks like whooping cough. You now have whooping cough.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Minus
It stops
2 to
on-
Constitution checks.
It stops on this depiction of a crystal, and the
I already
halfling looks
have
over
one
and
of
she's like,
those.
well, I mean, it's just a picture. Now hold on a hot second, and she pulls out a chest this time, little chest box thing, pops it on the table, opens it up, rummages through for a second. She's like, here we go, and she pulls out a stone. It's a very inconspicuous. There we go, stone. Very smooth, very ovular, very dull in color. She hands it to you, and she says, "Now this one, I gotta admit, it's not the most impressive thing I have.
It's just a rock.
It's just a rock. You know, you can throw it at people. It looks pretty. No,
Rock of throwing.
this is this is actually this is from that buddy I told you, the one who explored them flying gnome city. He calls it stone of far speak, and speak or speech.
Speech.
I think it is speech.
Speech.
Okay, stones of far speak. Shit. Anyway.
Maybe she says it that way.
Maybe she says it that way. It's her accent. Anyway, so what these do, these are fun. You and a friend, you could be like on opposite ends of the world, and you could still talk to each other. It's super neat. And actually, hold on a second. She rummages through again. She pulls out a second one. She says, it's not really fun unless you have 2, so I'll just give you a second one. On the house. Wink. I mean, you spent so much money anyway, so I don't feel bad.
Thank you. Wink.
Wink. So yeah, now you have stones of far speak speech.
Far speech.
2 of them. Far speech. And yeah, so you can add those to your inventory. And as I said,
Yeah.
I just equivalate them to
Walkie-talkies.
yeah, fantasy walkie-talkies.
All right. I mean, I don't know who I'd use this with, but all right.
I mean, you got a pretty nice goat down there. Maybe it wanna use it. I mean, I'm kidding. Goats don't actually talk. I was trying to be funny. I'm
Have
sorry.
any tape?
Ah,
tape
no,
it with
see,
you.
yeah, you all right? Yeah, beads. Now hold on a hot second. Which booth you say you were doing?
I'm running the oh God, what is it? God, I've literally, the name has lost me. Orphan Bake Sale, there we go. I'm
like it's
running the
a-
orphanage bake sale down the way.
She nods. She says, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, this kind of seems counterproductive, but I mean, you just spent 3 silver on my booth, and that's pretty neat. So I'll have to pop down there later. Oh, by the way, just because you're actually the first person who's come over to my booth, which a little disappointing. It's just starting. She holds out her hand. She says, my name is Mina Lee, by the way. I kind of hope we can run into each other again. I always give my name to someone, in case I ever run into him again. Or I want to.
I'm Kennum, and he shakes the hand.
Kennam. All right, I'm gonna keep that in mind, Kennam. So I hope you have fun with the rest of the festival. I don't know if you gotta find anything better than my booth, though. Yeah.
I doubt it. This was pretty much my one for the day.
She her face lights up. She's like, "Oh, you charm me. You spoiled me. You just saying that."
Well, I'll see you around, Mina.
All right. I'll see you later, Kennam Lee. No, that was dumb. I'm sorry. I'll see you around, Kennam.
All right. So, Kennum's gonna go see if he can find one of the guards.
Okay. God, we're just going on so many adventures today. So, roll me investigation. We'll see how high it gets.
19.
Jesus, seriously?
That's with bonuses. I rolled a 17. I've got a +2 in intelligence.
Okay, gotcha. No. Okay, yeah, no, I guess we're doing this. Here we go, then. So, Kennam, you got all this sweet loot, and you get it in your head that you want to find good buddy Hubert, who's the guard guy you saw much earlier, the one who's sassed off at Lannon. Boo. And you actually, it takes you about a half hour. Like, this is a big fucking stadium. There's a lot of people, so it takes you a bit to maneuver. But you do find him. And you find him at this sort of, I almost said dugout. That's not right. It's sort of this tented off area. There's like a bunch of benches and tables all set up, but nobody's there yet. There's actually even a sign that says, drinking contest to be held in half an hour. And you see, way off in the back, you see Lobe, for starters. Buddy Lobe. And you see Hubert. They're talking about something. And Hubert looks super smashed.
Well, I'm gonna look to Kevin and go, alright, walk is over. Here, take the, you can take the Stone of Far Speech over to Lobe.
Kevin takes the Stone of Far Speech in her mouth and trots over to Lobe.
I just kind of figured we had taped it to her. Like, this entire time, it was just taped to her.
You just, like, found a piece of Scotch tape and stuck it to the side of her head and was like, alright, Kevin, you are now mobile. Okay.
Kevin
no,
incognito.
I like that. We'll go with it. Kevin's just fucking rocking around with a rock taped to her head. I love it. Alright. So, Kevin goes to Lobe.
I'm gonna head over to Hubert.
Okay. So you walk over to Hubert. And you could see that they have amassed quite a few different cups. Not really tankards. It's too big. It's much like a little mini, little baby tankard. But there's quite a few. And he's laughing. Lobe must have said something funny. Who knows? And as you approach, he looks over at you and he says, "Oh! Kevin, right? No, wait. Shit, that's the goat.
Kennum, but...
Kennum! Kennum. And he stands up and he gives you a big old bear hug. And, now that you're in his embrace, unless you decide to try and get out of that or not even participate in that in the slightest. But
just gonna look at him really awkwardly going, okay.
Alright, so you're just taking the full brunt of this bear hug. Neat. So while you're in this bear hug, you actually notice Hubert doesn't have his helmet on this time. When you were back in the library, he kind of had this official looking headpiece, but he doesn't have it now. It's on the table next to the dozen of tiny tankards. And you see that he actually has pointy ears. Not as much as an elf would. And he's got these little baby antlers. They look a lot like Lannon's. They're very small and tiny. And they've got a couple of autumn leaves, like red and yellow leaves on them.
Mm.
And yeah. So now you know that Hubert is a half-elf.
Huh. I had totally had him, like, pegged for human.
Well, aren't you just a racist?
I don't know. Just mannerisms and such. Okay.
Oh, wait. There is something I want to do. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, though.
What?
I'm thinking, because actually I just realized this is a perfect opportunity. Roll me a perception check real quick. Just for funsies.
15.
15? Okay. So as you're being hugged by smashed Hubert, you are looking at his beautifully red smashed face, and it occurs to you that you've seen this face before. And it was fairly recent you've seen this face. Like, this is a very familiar mug, and not the mugs that are currently on the table.
He kind of sassed Lannon, I'd imagine he would. Look familiar.
Not in that way. Not in a every half elf looks the same sort of way, or in the I just saw you sort of way. In the way that's like, you saw this face maybe a couple hours ago, maybe a day ago, while you were on your travels. And it occurs to you that the face looks familiar because it's the same face of that innkeeper way back outside of the Ashen Grove.
Huh. Huh. Watch as, like,
Tidbit.
Hubert's the main villain. This entire time, he was the man with the golden eyes.
No, his eyes aren't golden. They're actually like a very creepy red for some reason. You're like slightly unsettling, but you know, it matches the horns. Eventually, finally, after this exposition dump, he puts you down and he says, Kevin!
Hey,
Not even gonna try.
Hubert.
Yes, that is my name.
Weren't you supposed to be, guarding the, prison?
He tilts his head as if he's actually thinking about this for a second.
I thought I heard you were supposed to be guarding the prison. Okay, should I roll something for this, or?
Oh, are you trying to, like, convince him that he was actually supposed to do this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Would
I mean,
it be
if you're trying
something
to...
that's worth rolling?
Let's see after he responds real quick, because he says, I was pretty sure I was supposed to be here, and I was supposed to be taste testing for poison. But poison sounds like prison.
I'll tell you what, buddy. Alright? We'll cover our bases. Why don't I go check out the prison and see if you were supposed to be there? And you can stay here because you seem like you're, I'm not going to lie, you're a little bit, tipsy. I'll see if you were supposed to do it, and if you were, I'll come back and I'll tell you. Alright?
Okay. Holy shit, this is a lot of rolls. Because you're lying, but you're also persuading. How to solve this? You're definitely lying. So let's start with that. Let's see if yeah, no. You're lying your ass off. Let's do that lie roll.
Alright. 9.
9. Okay. But you know what? Since he's so smashed, I'm gonna roll him with disadvantage. Silly Hubert. First one's a 10. Second one's an 11.
All right.
So Hubert looks at you and he's like, I don't think you're supposed to go in there. I think I'm supposed to only go in there. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I am definitely not tipsy. You are the one who is tipping, okay? I just want to get that straight. So definitely 100% you should not go in.
Oh, okay, that is fair. How's this? Why don't you go, and I'll stay here and keep watch?
Yeah, no, yeah. And he kind of straightens up and he starts to go for his helmet. He's like, no, I probably, jeez, I'm in so much trouble today. I hope they don't fire me. Ugh.
You'll be fine, Hubert. I'm sure no one will fire you.
And he waves goodbye to Lobe about whatever the heck they were talking about, puts on his helmet, and kind of cattywampuses his way into the crowd.
I'm tailing him.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's definitely not going to notice you. But here's the thing. Let's see if he can actually make it. Holy shit! Jeez! That's a 19! Wow! Dedication! Dedication to the cause. Okay.
He must have been one of those guys, like a Paul Blart Mall Cop kind of deal, where he knows everything, he just kind of sucks at doing it.
Hubert Blart, Mall Cop. I'd watch that movie. Okay, so you are watching this fool just stumble around the festival for what feels like an eternity. And you're about to give up because you think he's completely forgotten what you told him to do. So you're about to just go do something else. And then all of a sudden, you watch as he goes through a door you didn't notice before. And you probably wouldn't have noticed just because of all like the hullabaloo. It's very pushed off to the side. It's like behind a curve of a wall. There's a bunch of carts and stuff sort of pushed up against it to make it look inconspicuous. But he goes over there and he opens a door that you didn't notice. And it shuts behind him. Very quietly. He holds that shit with all his might and he slowly just pulls it shut.
Alright. I'm going to like find a good place to just stake out the position because clearly he's going to be told to leave. And I'm going to be ready when he does.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. And so I'm going to roll again. Oh shit. That's a 6. You're waiting there for quite some time. Like tailing him, it didn't actually take too long. Maybe you wasted a half an hour watching this stumbly fool kerfuffle around. Sitting outside this door, literal hours are passing, and he has still not come out. And I don't know what you're gonna do at this point, because I'm dead serious when I say hours have passed. Like, a lot of tomfoolery is going around in the festival. It's starting to kick off. That drinking thing has probably started and ended at this point.
Alright.
So, I don't know if Kennam is going to persist in his stakeout, or if he's just going to give up and go in, or, like, what's he going to do?
Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Alright. Lay it on me.
Here's the first question. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
When you made the nerfed sheet, do we still retain any of our equipment we get at starting?
No. Whatever's on the nerf sheet is what you have.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask a nearby booth if I can borrow some paper.
Okay, so you're gonna, like, walk on over to a booth?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you... Okay, paint the scene. What are you doing?
I'm seriously going to walk up to someone, just one of the people at the booth, and go,
No. Not that.
What?
I mean, like, why are you getting this piece of paper? What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation on this paper,
Okay.
and, for, like, a permission slip to enter the,
to enter the prison, just
Now,
in
Kennum.
case.
Now, Kennam, you make sure to get your parents to sign that permission slip.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Kind of like
Yeah.
as a, no, it's cool. I'm supposed to be here.
I'm
Deal,
supposed
right?
to go. Yeah. Like I'm supposed to
Okay.
be here to get something. For
No,
the
I get
festival.
you. I'm down. All right. All right, fine. So again, hours have passed. It's getting darker. You are thoroughly convinced that Hubert has gotten lost, or he fell down some stairs, or something. Hopefully not the latter. He might be dead. And you decide to pick yourself up from your stakeout spot, and you wander over. As are you just gonna like wait? Are you marching over? Or are you just like nonchalantly kind of scooting by and be like, "Hey"?
No, I'm
So-
gonna make it pretty clear I'm looking like at the person and walking right up to them like, oh, maybe
Okay.
this person has something.
All right, sounds good.
You know.
So you walk up to this seaworthy looking man. He's got like tattoos. He's got like the striped sailor shirt. He's missing some teeth, and he's juggling. Well, not juggling. He's kind of like tossing a knife up and down, and behind him you see there's some bullseyes. There's a couple also thuggish looking people who are like chucking daggers, and like some stick at the bullseye, some of them don't. Some of them go really like way off the mark, and they kind of hit the air and then they clatter down. So it kind of you get the sense that maybe someone put up a charm to make sure we don't just have fucking knives flying willy-nilly in this crowded area. No lawsuits, please. And you go up to this guy, and I assume the question is about to leave your lips. You're about to ask this stoutly gentleman for a piece of paper and a pencil, when all of a sudden you hear this big, booming, familiar voice. Seems like another great year has passed for this nation. And you realize that a bunch of people have now migrated to the center of this stadium. And this podium, not a podium, like this stage and podium has been set up. Standing at the podium is none other than the Phoenix King himself.